Hari Om. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipa. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Sadguru Bhagavan Ki Jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan Ki Jai, Krishna Bhagavan Ki Jai, Gita Mata Ki Jai. We are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, and we are discussing the 6th sloka. Yesterday we saw a little recap. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha yoga yukto munehe brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Lord Krishna says, but renunciation, O mighty armed Arjuna, is hard to attain without yoga. The yoga harmonized sage quickly goes to Brahman. Yoga harmonizes the seeker. Muni is one who does manana, meditation or reflection. Yoga is performance of action without selfish motive, as an offering unto the Lord. We shall see how it is offered to Lord. We shall see ahead some slokas he himself explains. Brahman here signifies renunciation or sannyasa, because renunciation consists in the knowledge of the self. You see, when we take some methods or some process to reach our goal, say to reach Delhi, we have to take some vehicles. But after reaching the target, we don't use the vehicle anymore. So, the instrument and the aim, they are process and the aim, they are dependent on each other. Because you want to reach the goal, that's why you adopted some process, took some help of some vehicle. And because you took that help, then only you could reach the target. So both are dependent on each other. So here Brahman or attainment of our goal is dependent on the method we adopt. So renunciation is the only way. When you renounce the whole world, the work of the Maya, then only when you renounce it, then only you can reach the target that is beyond world, beyond the pairs of opposites. So both are relative to each other. That's why if we consider here renunciation is Brahman, the target itself, method is the target, it will not be exaggerated. This is how here we have to take. Brahman here signifies renunciation or Sanyasa, because renunciation consists in the knowledge of the self. A Muni, the sage of meditation, the yoga harmonized, that is purified by the performance of actions, quickly attains Brahman. The true renunciation, which is devotion to the knowledge of the self. Therefore, karma yoga is better. In this way, he justifies karma yoga is superior than yoga of renunciation. It is easy for a beginner if it prepares him for the higher yoga by purifying his mind. Mind is impure. What is impurity? That is restlessness. That is called impurity. Because of its restlessness, it cannot have any proper knowledge of the object it is contacted with. It changes every moment because of its restlessness. Now, if it is steadied, so it will not have change very often, and it will be fixed on some object. That is the formula of meditation. One should not change the object of meditation. It should be one always. And that is supported before also. Swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavaha. One should always follow one track. That we have discussed yesterday also. He should not very often change his track. The distant other's path looks beautiful, but it is dangerous for you. Don't be bewildered by beauty of the track, other's track from a distance. The mountain example we gave yesterday. So in this way, others' path you should not adopt. You should stick to your own path. Let it be as bad as it seems to be. But it is not bad. It will become okay in the course of time. By your hard effort. So that means one should stick to one path. That also means go on doing every action as it comes by the way, without your expectation. Don't reject it, don't accept it. Means be with it indifferently. And that is called selfless adaptment. You have no desire whatsoever, and without desires, if you accept anything or do something, that is, there your acceptance is not the acceptance. It is not taken to be considered. Your actions are no actions without doership. In the very beginning, the restless mind should be slowly, gradually, should be withdrawn from the sense objects. That slowly gives you purification. That means mind gets a little steadied by and by. Gradual success. Nothing is possible all of a sudden because we have been habituated to some practice, some methods since births past. All of a sudden it cannot be overcome. So gradually, in the process said by yoga, means adapting the replacement of the opposite instead of the present habit. If you are habituated to hate others, so try to love somehow or other. Then that hatred will slowly be out of your practice. Slowly. It is not possible all of a sudden. In this way, mind gets purified slowly, gradually, when you are steady in your practice. Pardon? Huh? Pratipaksha bhavana, replacement of the opposite. So in this way, yoga helps you. Similarly, the mind also. Mind is of different standard. There is gross mind, subtler mind, subtlemost mind, and very sharp and very sattvic mind, and in the end very steady mind. So just as the elderly persons in the house, they control the youngsters to do some mistakes, and slowly the youngsters become elderly and they also teach the youngsters. In this way the process goes on. So the inner mind, the subtler mind also controls the grosser mind, and thereby if you can hear your inner mind and practice yoga sincerely, very soon you will attain success. In this way, yoga helps us. It is not all of a sudden, that is sure. When the mind is purified by performance of action without selfish motive, without doership, without attachment for the result of it, then the practitioners quickly attain Brahman, the goal. The true renunciation, which is devotion to the knowledge of the self, therefore, Karma Yoga is better. It is easy for a beginner. It prepares him for the higher yoga by purifying his mind. So same gross mind gets purified, gets steadied, and gets prepared for the higher realms, for the higher practices. In this way, yoga becomes your supporting fact, and thereby when the mind is purified, easily one gets one-pointed mind, steadied mind, and then enters into meditation, and in the end he attains the absolute equilibrium, that is the state of the truth. Yoga yukto visuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. He who is devoted to the path of action, whose mind is quite pure, who has conquered the self. Here self means the senses with the mind. Who has subdued his senses and who realizes his self as the self in all beings through acting, is not tainted. Na lipyate. He gets no attachment. On the other hand, he renounces slowly. He is not attached to any result thereby. This Karma Yoga is taught by our Gurudev. His teachings essentially depends upon Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga with selfless service to others. Serve, first step. Love, service with love to others. That means you can develop your love to others when you feel oneness only. When you serve others, you should have, it automatically happens. You are sorry by their sorrows and you are happy with their happiness. So you feel oneness with the man whom you serve. Slowly you feel yourself in him. Eko devo sarvabhutesu gudha. One self, one God abides in all the beings. Sakshi cheta kevala nirgunascha. It is without any qualities. It is only the universal witness who abides in all beings as the witness, who is awareness. Everybody is aware of himself. That awareness is nothing but Godhood. That is your true nature, but we forget it. We being aware feel unaware. We overlook it. That means one who hears the inner voice, he never does any wrong. So this is how the inner self, that is the voice of the God, and that is in other word, they say, some philosophers say, Akashvani. Akashvani means, Akash means the all-pervading sky, and that is the sky of the heart, not from somewhere above. That is the inner voice. Akashvani means inner voice. It becomes audible, it becomes clear when you hear it. In this way, he says, selfless service to others brings you oneness with others, and it develops a type of love also. You love yourself. When you feel yourself present in others, naturally you start loving. It is not for any expectation, but it is selfless love, real relationship. It is not for any expectation. In this way, if one serves and loves other and sacrifices, if you have something with you, some belonging, some food, what do? You eat it. How do you eat? The hand takes it and puts in mouth chews it, masticates it, and swallows it. The belly, stomach assimilates it, and it distributes to all the part of the body. Whole body is nourished by it. That means everyone should be shared, should be benefited out of your belonging. So it is said in the scriptures, Isavasyam idagam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha magriddha kasvasvir dhanam. The whole world pervaded by God only. That means the enjoyer and enjoyment, enjoyed objects, karta, kriya and karma. Three, the doer, doing process, and the done object. These three are called triads. They belong to the absolute truth. He is the doer, he is the process, and he is the done object. So, really speaking, the objects of enjoyment also is his form. That means Isavasyam idagam sarvam means the Lord is all-pervading. He is the doer, he is the process of doing, he is the done object. So everything is he, his form, in different ways. Isavasyam idagum sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat, whatever is seen or unseen, whatever is called world or not the world, everything is pervaded by the absolute truth, the absolute God, one God. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Why all these objects are around you? It is only for enjoyment. God created this world for His amusement only. So you are the part and parcel of the Lord. You also are supposed to enjoy. But there is a method to enjoy it. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Because it is not only yours. It belongs to everyone. Because God is all pervading. He is present everywhere. It is only for enjoyment. So it should be shared with others. And then you can enjoy it with others. If you don't share it and enjoy yourself, you are a thief. You are a cheat. You are a dacoit. You capture others' share. So it is emphatically declared, Magriddha kasvasvid dhanam. This share, the portion belong to others, don't capture it by force. If you don't share with others and eat yourself, enjoy yourself, you are a cheat, you are a culprit, you are a dacoit. That is forbidden by the scriptures. This is what Gurudev says. Share with others. Serve, love, give, give, give. Gurudev Swami Sivanji Maharaj used to say, give, give, give. The local people gave him the name Givanand. He enjoys in giving. So much so, he will borrow and give to others. His motive was, nature will take care. I am not the doer. One who is not entitled, not fated, how can he enjoy it? If he has enjoyed it, then he was fated for it. So nature will take care. I am not the giver nor the sharing person. It is others' fate. I am just an instrument in between. I am doing the job of the nature. I am a postman only. I am not the sender of the letter nor receiver. In between, I carry out the work. This was his idealism. And it is seen in miraculous ways. Many times we have seen it. The need is fulfilled. And in Gita also it is said, afterwards we shall see it. Ananya chintayanto mam ye janaha paripasate tesam nityavijuktanam yoga kshemam bhamyam. One who thinks of me and does my works, being an instrument in my hand, always thinks of me. He is dear to me. And for him, I promise I will take care of him. I will supply his bare needs, and I will protect him from all sides, because he is mine. I am his. As I protect myself, I will protect my devotee like that. It is promised by the Lord. So why should we care for anything? Surrender and be carefree. Do whatever you like. For the sake of God, He will take care. With the feeling of instrumentality. That was the idealism of Swami Shivanji Maharaj, and that is what is said by all the scriptures, and here too it is said by Lord Krishna. By service, by love to others, by sharing with others, the seeker feels his own self in others. Mamatma sarvabhutatma. Myself is the self of all the beings. That is the feeling of a higher seeker. He feels it. He realizes it. He who is devoted to the path of action in this way, selfless action, whose mind is quite pure, means who has conquered the self, that means established in self. Here the self, conquered the self means the lower self, that means the senses, mind, etc. Who has subdued his senses and who realizes his self as the self in all beings, that is higher being. His own self, who is all pervading, he abides in all the beings. So myself is present everywhere. That's how, if that feeling dawns in you, you can never think of bad of anyone. Whatever you do, it cannot harm others. That is automatic non-violence. It happens by itself. When the mind is pure, when you think for everyone, then you become the universal being. Yourself is realized in all these beings. And it is through actions only. Though acting is not tented here, without the selfish motive, without the doership, without attachment to have some expectation to have some result of it, it becomes the purifier and mind becomes tentless, absolutely pure. That mind is nothing but the self itself. He who is harmonized by yoga, that is, he who has purified his mind by devotion to the performance of action, who has conquered the body and who has subjugated the senses, whose self is the self of all beings, he will not be bound by actions, although he performs actions for the well-being or protection of the masses in order to set an example to them. The Lord also does the same thing. He has nothing to achieve. He has nothing lacking in him. He is the full, He is the totality. So, having such fullness, completeness, He is ever engaged in actions only to set an example before everyone. Do like me, selfless for the welfare of all beings. That is the real path a seeker should tread. He feels himself in all the beings. No negative qualities can raise their heads in his mind. Nothing can be such negativities. Naiva kinchid karomiti yukto manyet tattvavit pashyan shrunvan sprishan jignan ashnan gachan swapan swasan. I do nothing at all. Such is the feeling of a selfless servant. He has no expectation. I do nothing at all. Thus would the harmonized knower of the truth think, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, going, sleeping, breathing, all I am not the doer of all these. Then, who is the doer? How is the function is going on? Prakritehe kriyamanani. The nature does its work by the help of the senses and mind. That also the part and parcel of the nature. I am nowhere concerned. I am the witness, Sakshi Cheta Kevala Nirgunasya. I am not at all concerned with all these. I am the witness. So in this way, whatever he does, it becomes a worship to the absolute truth. Pralapan, Visurujan, Grinnan, Unmisan, Nimisan api, Indriyani, Indriyarthesu, Vartanta iti dharayan. He feels he is of this opinion that the indriya, the senses do everything for the sense sake. If the hand is helping the mouth to eat, it is to nourish the body and all the senses. How am I concerned with it? I am not the doer. The senses do for the sense sake. All these actions, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, going, sleeping, breathing, and also speaking and letting go and seizing, opening and closing the eyes. It is convinced that the senses move among the senses, sense objects. They have some movements. Doing means they move among themselves. I have some itching sensation. Who is itching whom? The sense is itching. The hand is itching the other hand. How am I concerned with it? Huh? The eyes see and ears hear. It helps the mouth to speak irrelevantly. What you see, accordingly you speak. What you hear, you speak accordingly. So all these senses, they are the helping hands to the mouth, to the speech. How am I concerned with it? Who am I? Am I the ear, or am I the eyes, or the mouth, or the speech? No, here I am concerned. In this way, a man of understanding feels within, and such a person's actions become worship to the Lord. Whatever he does, jat jat karomi, whatever I do, O my Lord, it is worship of you only. Tat adakhilam sambho tavaradhana. It is your worship, O Lord. The liberated sage, Are Jnani, always remains as a witness of the activities of the senses, as he identifies himself with the self or Brahman. He thinks and says, I do not see, the eyes perceive, I do not hear, the ears hear, I do not smell, the nose smells it, etc. He beholds inaction in action. Inaction in action. As he has burnt his actions in the fire of wisdom, his actions are no more actions. It is only inaction. This is how, if you are not the doer, whatever you do, you are not to be claimed to enjoy the fruit of all actions. No. So tomorrow we shall see further. Brahmanyadhyaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti jaha lipyate nasa papena padma patramivambhasa. He gives the example of the lotus leaf. Tomorrow we shall see, very interesting, and this example is often given by everyone. How to be unattached, being in the world, not be concerned with the activities of the world. That is what Gurudev also teaches. Be in the world, don't be worldly. Have you seen the fish? It lives in the water only. Water is its life, but water doesn't touch it. When you bring out the fish, its skin is dry. So also one should feel. The other example is the lotus leaf, which is born in the water only, lives in water only whole life, and water doesn't touch it. If you put some water on the lotus leaf, it will not make it damp, nor it is makes it wet. Water will fall down. Water cannot influence it. That is the right example. We shall see it thoroughly tomorrow. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Sachidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai.